of accusations, death threats,
use deadly force,
sexual misdeeds.
Mum on a regular basis.
This is the story of Isom. No, not the International School of Ministry, but the comic by Eric July. Tonight, on Sifting Through the Trash, with your host, JJ Trujillo. Eric July's warehouse was visited by one of his biggest trolls. Eric had some very unsavory words for him.
A psychopath showed up and he was not invited there. That's the point it is that I'm making.
Is Riley? I mean, Riley's dumb, but is he a psychopath?
Yeah, something like it. I like to think he's a crazy son of a bitch for sure.
Is Riley really a deranged psycho, or is his publicity stunt not all that crazy? That seems to be the opinion of Frog Tony, formerly the Geek Getaway, who super chatted the following to comic pro Ethan Van Sciver, then friend of Eric's.
$5. Since Cecil invaded Barstool Sports with Alex Stein, he must think it's hilarious that Riley taped $50 to Eric's public building, right?
Is Alex the same as Riley? Alex Stein, shock jock and prankster, weighs in.
What's so ridiculous is that they're blaming me because he trolls people as if, like, Eric doesn't like trolls because of, like, my point is that I'm an okay troll, but this guy's not an okay troll, so they're trying to call Eric a hypocrite, which is ridiculous because we're totally different.
Alex seems very annoyed at the comparison. Let's compare his stunt at Barstool Sports to that of Riley's at Eric's warehouse.
We're here looking for Dave. I brought my wife's boyfriend. Hey, I'm looking for Dave Portnoy. Come on, Dontarius. It's prime time. Come on, Dontarius. I brought my wife's boyfriend in here. Come on, guys. Where's Dave Portnoy? Where's Dave? I'm with my wife's boyfriend. I'm with my wife's boyfriend. Where's Dave? Hey, Dave Portnoy, we're here for you. You invite on your podcast, Francis Ellis. Don't make fun of Tucker Carlson, Francis. Do not make fun of Tucker. Do not make fun of Tucker. It's prime time. Marshall, Dave, what are you doing? I brought my wife's boyfriend in here. Hold on. Where's Dave? I just want to know where's Dave.
All right, Eric, ignore those super chats, you son of a bitch. Eric keeps ignoring my super chats, so I brought him $50. I also vandalized his building with these stickers. We'll see what he has to say about that.
First, Riley came during the night, and he didn't breach the property or have contact with any of Eric's employees. Riley wasn't asked to leave, and there were no physical altercations. Alex went during the day and annoyed employees who asked him to leave repeatedly. Alex didn't listen and re-entered, and there were some physical altercations. Ethan Van Sciver explains Riley's origin and how he adopted the moniker of Young Klippa. This will also help us understand a key difference between Alex and Riley.
I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, but like I said, it's not some fucking weirdo from the chat who's obviously a stalker. Maybe he's just trying to be Alex Stein. I don't know. You don't know who this is. Maybe it's beginnings of an Alex Stein character.
It is. He was just like, his whole thing was, I'm Clippaverse. I'm getting in shape because I'm fat, so that I'll be able to. I get this all started with Eric saying, like, yeah, you want to come shave my back? Like, why don't you stop being fat and pull whatever it was? I don't know how this all went, but somehow it led to this ongoing gag about this guy getting in shape so that he could get clippers and clip Eric's back hair or something like that. That's how this all started. The guy thought, I think the guy thought he was being funny.
A key difference between Riley and Alex is that Riley built his brand from trolling Eric, whereas Alex built his brand from trolling many individuals, not focusing on a single person. Those critical of Eric felt that his response to Riley proved he couldn't handle trolls. Let's see what Alex Stein has to say about that.
And I don't think Eric wanted that guy to go to jail. And I'm not speaking for Eric. I don't want to speak for him. But I really don't think Eric called the cops on him. People were saying Eric called the cops on him. I don't think so. I think the bar owner did.
Alex Stein says that's false. Some fans of Eric felt that he was entitled to a lethal response, a notion ridiculed by Dick and Vito.
Eric July's business is headquartered in Texas, a lawless state where you can shoot anyone for any reason.
A murder-based,
murder-based
meritocracy.
Meritocracy. Here's a couple tweets I've collected.
Have gun will kill.
This was Spades86 who told Riley, why don't you...
Can't call him that.
That's what he calls himself. Why don't you act hard with that same energy during the day? Oh, wait. Texas Penal Code 9.41 permits the use of force to protect property. Blob the retard here is looking at a 2 to 10 year prison sentence. Minimum. Put him away for life, I think.
These are the
based on this video.
ANCAP libertarians, right?
Yes, ANCAP libertarians. Finally weighing in is Eric July himself, Dick.
Oh, man.
And he's got a little something to tell you about Texas. Eric July says, legal advice, don't do anything that threatens or violates the private property rights of responsible gun owners.
A bird law lawyer or something?
I think he's a bird law lawyer. Yeah,
okay.
Eric July is clearly versed in the law. Do not violate the private property rights of responsible gun owners in their home or business park. Regardless of how you feel about it, they're protected, especially in Texas.
Let's take a look at Nick Rekieta's response to these claims.
Fans have posted some fantasies about using self-defense against Riley, and we're talking about using lethal force in self-defense. Anyone who thinks that that's a real thing is deluding themselves in this scenario.
Eric didn't agree with Nick's opinion.
I see that, you know, that being your sort of position and that it's always been the case, or you feel like that's generally the case of to justify putting a hole or attempting to put a hole in someone. Our guys don't see it that way, and I've seen people get aired out for a lot less.
Previously, Alex said Eric didn't want to arrest Riley, but it seems Eric's team had a much worse fate in store. Interestingly, just as Eric's team thought that they could kill Riley, Dave Portnoy had a similar response to Alex's visit.
I don't think that guy's been slapped yet, so I'm glad he got slapped. Yeah. You hear people be like, "Oh, they should charge assault charge." He should have been shot. If we had a gun at front, a ski mask, and a deranged homeless man trying to barge in, bang,
yeah.
Hey,
that's
right.
The thing, it's the actor, which is the craziest part.
Yeah, bang, bang, you're dead. It's all those people who want that will be like, well, if you come into my house, I can shoot you with my gun. All right, well, if you have two lunatics, a guy wearing a ski mask, bang, bang, and hey, fat Tubelar, bang, sorry, we told you to leave, you wouldn't. They're all like, you leave. No, he didn't. Danny was like pushing him. The guy's like 900.
So where are they based out of? What city are they based out of? Is this New York or where are they at?
I think New York City. I think they're right in the middle of New York City.
I'm just going to say, first and foremost, Dave, you are wrong because, I'm sorry, if you're in New York City, can someone fact check real quick? Then you're wrong. No, if you're in New York City, you don't get to say someone should be shot.
Yeah, headquartered in NYC.
Yeah, if you're doing, but the show, like that, where they actually record?
I don't know.
If you're doing a show in a city where you constantly vote for and pay taxes and support the stripping away of your right to keep and bear arms, you don't get to say someone who entered a public office should be shot. Yeah. Now, that being said, we here in Western Maryland and West Virginia, with Castle Doctrine and active threats against us and armed guards, I will say there's a big difference. If someone stormed through, first of all, you got to enter a large property. You have to go past physical barricades saying, do not enter. You are being warned. You will be shot. Then if somebody broke in here, I'd be like, yeah, you'd probably get shot. I don't want you to get shot. I don't think you should be. You probably will be because we're not going to try and figure out your intention when you break in. But to stress, Alex Stein was joking. I'm not a big fan of storming into the podcast office, causing a fight and all that stuff. In a lot of circumstances, yeah, he'd get beaten up, he'd get arrested, all that stuff. But I just want to make sure I can point out, you can't say that when you're in New York City. Sorry.
There's also a difference in that. How many times have you been swatted? How many times have
15?
people actually? Yeah, I mean, is it really that high?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So it's like, yeah, obviously, that's a different level. I don't think Dave Portnoy is getting swatted all that much. The libs kind of like him. He plays this centrist character. And so it just seems a little over the top. I get that Alex Stein also is a little over the top, but I don't think blowing his brains out is totally proportionate here,
Michael Knowles felt that was a disproportionate use of force. While some may feel Dave Portnoy's response was out of line, Tim Pool clarifies that in certain situations deadly force may be justified, especially in more conservative jurisdictions, given that the property is enclosed and marked with signs. This was another point of contention on Eric's stream with Ricada, who led Nick to believe his property was fully enclosed, then later admitted it wasn't.
There's no drive-through. Like, our building is sectioned that way, the way that it is. It's us, and that's it. That gate that is there, and that's it. You cannot drive through our building to get, or our side of that building to get somewhere else. That's not how the design of it is.
Is there a gate blocking off that side of the building?
Yes, correct. On that side, there absolutely is a gate blocking both sides, actually, because on the end of that street, or not a street, I guess that road, whatever you want to call it, it is the drive, the parking lot, right, if you will. There are two gates on either side. This is why he drove through, had to turn around to get out, because that's the only way that you can get in or out on that particular side.
Listening to that, I imagine tall steel gates surrounding every entrance, and that there was no way to get in unless you had an access key or showed ID to security. It turns out that there was indeed a public entrance.
Yes.
But then you're saying that he drove through another side and got in.
So look at it like three sides, because there's nothing but fencing on the other, on one side, right? So you have a fence. Look at it like this, like you got a fence, right? And then on opposite sides of that fence, right, is our building, right? You can get out. So get on the street, do whatever you need to do. There are two sides. If you went left or if you went right, there are gates on both sides. There is only one way, if you're not entering through that gate, to get into where our building is. Not everybody else's building. To get into where our building is, there's only one way to get in, not using those two gates.
So there's a way to get in without using the gate.
Correct.
Okay, but yeah, like you see the issue there, right? That there is a publicly accessible way in without a gate.
Issue as far as what?
This would likely prevent Eric and his team from shooting Riley, though that's covered more fully in a previous episode of this show. Let's revisit Alex Stein and his comments on Riley's arrest. Alex doubles down and claims Eric had nothing to do with Riley's arrest. Is that the case? Eric led his followers to believe so with this clip.
So I've been instructed to give a public statement. That means that everything the public needs to know will be in this video. Thus, I'll have no further comments outside of this, and anything else will need to be addressed with our legal team. You may know by now that a crazed man was arrested outside of a recent Rippaverse meetup after trying to cause a scene, heckling guests, and attempting to interrupt the event. He was told by the venue to leave and stay off the property. The venue instructed him to leave, and he refused. So his conflict with the police was created out of his own actions, and the cop explicitly states why he was called.
The reason why I'm here is because the owner here apparently asked you guys to leave.
But if you listen to the part that Eric didn't show his fans, we learn a much different story.
Yeah, so it's fine. You're not breaking any laws, not recording. But what they do want to do is give me trespass.
Where's the location? Where? Sorry. We've been right here for most of it.
Yeah, we've been right here for most of it.
No, I need that. We're over here. So what's is this a violation of that criminal trespass?
No. So once I issue it, which means you cannot get on this property ever. If you do, you'll be arrested.
Here the officer explicitly states that Riley hasn't done anything to warrant his arrest up to that point, and would only be breaking the law if he breached a certain line again, which Riley wouldn't cross again that evening. As it turns out, Riley's arrest came solely from an outstanding warrant, which the officer is told of before meeting Riley.
Nice to meet you guys.
So we just need your permission.
Sean. Yeah, nice to meet you guys.
We just need your permission to come and trespass them pretty much.
So we went and talked to him. I told them to stay off my area, which goes all the way to the corner line where CC's is. Okay. And they're like giving me the bullshit of, this public sidewalk, blah, 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 all that shit. And so got their phones out filming, screaming, doing all kinds of crazy shit. So we just kind of left it alone at that point.
The guy changed apparently there's a warrant out for his arrest and plane. So detectives for playing on his toll. Why didn't you
These employees knew Riley's name, and that Eric had a warrant for his arrest. They could have only known this because of Eric or somebody on his team. In other words, Alex's assertion that Eric isn't responsible for Riley's arrest is false. He was arrested only because of complaints made by Eric. Tim Pool touched on how laws are very different in each jurisdiction, and the law which led to Riley's arrest wasn't due to a physical incursion on property or any physical altercation, but due to internet communications meant to harass, annoy, or alarm Eric. In other words, he has been arrested for cyberbullying, though it isn't clear if such charges would be possible in New York with Dave Portnoy and Alex Stein. Perhaps they only prosecute cyberbullying in the free and based state of Texas. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.